today's video, we're going to be taking the Jasminer X4-1U Ethereum Classic Miner and installing an Ironman arc reactor.
Today's video is sponsored by the team over at unminable.com. What if you could mine with your mining hardware and then get paid out in the cryptocurrency you most desire? The team at unminable.com has you covered. In a few easy steps, you can select one of 10 mining algorithms to mine and then get paid out in over 40 different crypto assets. Talk about making crypto mining easy in the bear market. Unminable has it all. CPU, GPU, and ASICs are all supported on unminable.com. Go check out unminable.com today and tell them the Hobbyist Miner sent you.
What's going on, miners, and welcome back to the Hobbyist Miner channel. Well, we're not actually installing an Ironman arc reactor on our Jasminer. Love Ironman. Arc reactor is nonfiction, at least as of today, 2023. But we are going to be doing some modifications to my Jasminer X4-1U. And if you guys are like, what is that thing? Well, it looks like a 1U server, right? Well, it kind of is. It is an Ethereum Classic miner from the team over at Jasminer, and it's pretty badass. It pumps out a ridiculous amount of hash rate. I think it's 580 mega hash for a couple hundred watts. Very, very minimal. But there's one huge downside to this super efficient Ethereum Classic miner. It is loud as f. All right, so here we have it. You can tell this is why this gets the nickname the Mosquito Miner from our fellow friend over there, Rabid Mining. This thing is loud, whiny, and noisy, and I don't know if the microphone does enough justice to it. But let's go ahead and see exactly how many dBs it does. We're gonna reset it and give it a minute. All right, so our average is about 78 dB before I started talking there. And man, this thing just doesn't give up. Whiny and noisy in the front and in the back. So let me go ahead and get this thing powered down, and so we can talk about exactly the project that we're going to be working on today. Whew, that is a lot better. If you're curious, yes, you can run this on 120 volt, not just 240. So let's talk about what we're doing today. So I run this at home. This isn't run in a server room. It's not run in a warehouse. It's run it at home. And I actually run it in my garage versus in my shed because it's so loud that I need to be careful as to how loud and whiny I have equipment in my mining shed because I really don't want to piss off my neighbors. So this has been running in my garage because it's just so loud and annoying. Well, fellow content creator, as I talked about before, 𝐓𝐴 has done a modification to this. Kudos to him. I'm going to put a link to his video down below. He does a full DIY step-by-step guide on modifying this. And what does he do? He removes the fans in the front and the back side. And then what he does is he cuts a hole in the middle because that's where the heatsink is. And what he did is he takes these guys, Noctua fans. These are the Noctua NF F12s. Now these, if you are looking for them, they're the 3000 PWM units. And that's exactly what we're going to be using today. So we have 4 of these. So we're going to be taking these 4 fans to do 3000 RPMs, but they're so much quieter. And we're going to be putting them, we're cutting a hole, and we're going to be placing them over here. And so what's going to occur then is we're going to take them and point them upward. So they're going to create a suction effect, pulling air through the heatsink, and the back here is going to act as an intake, no fans. And then on this side, this is actually the back, that was the front. The back side here will act as an intake. So it's going to suck in air from there, it's going to suck in air from here, go through the heatsink fins, and then come right out the top side of this unit here. So let me get this opened up, and then I'll show you guys theoretically how we're going to lay it out and see how we do. All right, so the lid is off, and this is what the inside looks like. If you guys haven't seen it before, it's not super complicated. It's actually really simple. Check it out. Power supply, motherboard, bunch of connectors, fans, This is an air diffuser to keep the airflow isolated, and it's nothing crazy. I unscrewed it. Look, just a little piece of plastic is all that is. And this is it. Massive heat sink, and your chips are underneath, and you have a hash board directly underneath here, and you can see Jasminer X4. There's your hash board, power to your hash board here, and then this is also your ribbon cable that goes back pretty much to your motherboard over here. And that's it. So here's the game plan. But keep in mind, nothing ever goes as planned, ever, when it comes down to doing this stuff. So this entire unit, here's your fans, which, why is there no fan here? I don't get it. Anyways, look, there's 4 there, 5 there. Why is there only 4 here? I feel like I got gypped. Who forgot it in the assembly line? So what we're gonna do is there's screws here. These screws are holding in the entire fan assembly. So instead of like pulling out individual fans and plugs, we're just gonna pull out the whole assembly here. On the front and the back, they're identical. And they run right here to a 4-pin, and that 4-pin just travels back, and here is our 2 fan controllers. Now, we do have to have fans plugged in because of the fact that the system does have some smart configuration in it for the fans. So if it doesn't see the fans and the RPMs, it'll actually cause the unit to fault. And then here is the other one here at the back side. But these are the stupid fans that are so loud. The mosquito fans. I mean, they're ridiculous. It's pretty insane. Completely unnecessary. So 5 in the back we're gonna pull out. So imagine this is gone and this is gone. Now you just have a clear path right to your heat sink and for the air to flow right through the fins, and same thing on this side. So this is the exhaust now, this is the intake now. Now they're both gonna become intakes because here's my plan, right? We're taking these guys and we're gonna go ahead, put them on top here. We're gonna have to find a way to mount them, should be fun. Let's get these laid out. Probably won't be laid out exactly like this because we want the cords, probably have the cords to the outside. Probably something like this maybe, I don't know. We'll figure it out as we go, right? So that these are kind of, you can almost lay them out like, actually what we can do is do something like this. This will actually probably be better. So they're all, yeah, outward because these cords are so long. But take a look, you see how they cover like the entire heatsink? And then the direction of the air is up. So if you come down a little bit lower, you can see the air is going to get pulled underneath and then up and out. And I've seen this done before. Like 𝐓𝐿 has done this before. I think Red Panda Mining has done it as well. It does work, and it does work well because this is only 240 watts. It doesn't use much electric at all. It's like this entire setup is complete overkill. You might be able to get away with just one of these fans, you know what I mean? Like who knows at the end of the day. But that's kind of our game plan. So what I need to do is I need to figure out how I want to cut a hole in the lid, the size of the heatsink for exactly where the fans are. So that's what we're going to do next. So I have lots of work to do. And I'll be back here soon after we kind of nail it down. Quick update on our progress. One of my first challenges I needed to overcome was like, how am I securing this? So got creative, used some things I had. Check these out, guys. Misfit Mining. These are like from the fan hangers. Remember like, I don't know, 2 years ago when the big thing was the hanging GPUs and we used to like hang fans in front of them. Misfits Mining, Chump Change, they went ahead and 3D printed a ton of these. Look, I got a bunch of these over here that like clipped onto the metal racks, and then you could do your whole thing, hang all your fans. I had a ton of these, so I'm really glad I held on to them. Thank you, Chump Change, Misfits Mining. So what I did was I secured these all together, kind of held them together there. Nothing in the middle here. And then check out on the ends here. These are the screws that I went ahead and bought, bolts more that I bought when I was working on my S19J Pro and the L3 with replacing the fans. And what they do is I have a rubber washer here, thick one, and they go down and then mount right between the fins there. And look at that. That's not going anywhere. So all 4 of our fans are secure and good to go. So now my next step is I need to measure on all sides, and I can line it up and map it out on the cover. And my thought is the cover is gonna come like right to here, which is fine. This is gonna be above the cover. It's gonna stick out a little bit above the cover, which is fine. So I need to do some measurements, and my goal then is to have the cover come flush up against here and go all the way around. So I have a lot of work to do. Let me go ahead. It's gonna be fun cutting this, but let's get to work. All right, update, definitely amateur hour. This is not professional in any way. So we went ahead and got our hole cut. Now I did remove the unit because I figured out like this slides on, so I have to go ahead and do a lot of this like in steps. So I'm gonna have to put this on, do everything with the fans first, but fits, we're good to go. Here's the piece, it's a mess. It was, so how I ended up doing this was I measured on all sides and then I marked it. On top, you can actually see some of my pencil marks through here. Not a big deal, not worried about it. Then I ended up taking a drill bit and drilling a larger hole in all 4 corners. And then I took a jigsaw with a metal blade and cut around. And you can see I am no professional, so don't judge me. Here's our finished product. We actually went even farther. So we took what we had and I found these fan grills. I had, this is why you save everything, guys. I have these fan grills and I was like, perfect. So we got fan grills on top to make it look even more professional and also to keep little hands from touching it or from bumping it particularly. So next what I need to do is I did go ahead and find these out in my garage as well. I have a whole bin of like fan stuff. I don't know if you guys do or not. Come on, Tangled. Oh my gosh, there we go. So 3 pin to 2 4 pins. So this is what I'm gonna need because I have 2 fan spots I need to plug into, and we have 2 fans to cover there and then 2 fans to cover here. So I need to do this ahead of time because once I go ahead and put the lid on and then install this, you can't just slide it off. And you can't lift it straight up because it goes underneath a little lip here. So if I ever have to work on this, not that I expect to, I'll have to remove this before I can slide off the cover. But I think we're ready to go. So what I'm gonna do, let's see if we can get this off one-handed. Last step before you guys see the final product here, we're going to remove all of our fans, all the cabling, our fans in the cabling, and next thing you'll see is the finished product. All right, here it is, the finished product. Check it out, guys. So everything ended up fitting. It was a tight fit, we made it work. All of our bolts going down into our heatsink worked perfectly. We did end up getting these in here, which is awesome. Once again, huge shout out to Chump Change and Misfit Mining. But guys, check it out. So the big thing, does it work? Well, it does. So quick metrics. If you guys saw previously in the video, the original setup stock uses right at the wall 294 watts, and we were anywhere, the way Jasminer had it in there, it was kind of weird. It was like, I think it was like 34C to 50C. Well, right now at the wall, we're at 274, so 20 watts less, and our cooling is even better. We're down in the 40s right now in this room, and this room is 72 degrees Fahrenheit. For Celsius, for the rest of the world, 22. So I am super excited that this worked out. I can't wait now to get this in the shed. Let me get my dB meter and we'll test it and see where it's at versus the stock setup. All right, so let's go ahead and reset it. Now this one is at 75 dB. Now something I wish I tested previously, because the other one was 78, but the huge difference is this one, and this meter doesn't do a good job. I gotta find a good meter. This one doesn't do a good job of like the levels of that whine. You know the whine noise I'm talking about with ASICs and with these crazy high RPM fans. By the way, these 12,000 RPMs, insane. These guys 3,000. But this doesn't do a good job of that whine. But here is something we can do. I can take this and move it over here because this is going to be in my shed and everything. And let me reset this real quick. $65 dB, so just a few feet away and it drops off entirely. This is a huge victory. Oh, I'm so excited. So huge shout out to 𝐓𝐿_XD. He's the one who came up with this idea. I just added to it and made my own modifications to it. The hardest part was cutting the lid, and I am in no way professional. You can see my lines are not nice and clean. There's so many better ways I could have done it. But guys, I am excited. We did it. Hell yeah. Well, that's going to wrap things up for today. That was a boatload of fun and something different, especially for the channel. I love getting my hands into projects like that. It's always a lot of fun. Huge shout out to 𝐓𝐿_XD. I'll put a link directly down below in the video description to his video that he actually gave me the idea and inspiration to go ahead and do this. Please go check out his full-length video on doing it. He is definitely a DIY guy. If you guys enjoy DIY projects, go check out his YouTube channel. He has some really cool stuff, especially when it comes down to solar and home heating he actually has an L7 heating his home right now. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thank you guys very much for joining me. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care. Over the last 12 months, I've been working with a handful of designers on a special project, and I'm excited to announce that that project is now live. Let me introduce you to a new apparel web store, hobbyistminers.store, hardware merch for enthusiasts just like you and I. Working with a few designers, we decided to launch the store with 17 unique NVIDIA Founders Edition graphics card designs. These designs are all custom made, unique, and one of a kind. What's your favorite Founders Edition? Was it the GTX 1080 Ti? Or maybe the RTX 2080? We can't forget about the RTX 3060 Ti, or how about everyone's favorite, the RTX 3070. So what's different about hobbyistminers.store? Well, every 3 months, these designs will be decommissioned and gone forever, making them a limited time run. But no fear, every 3 months, brand new designs will be released of your favorite graphics cards. To give you an idea, hobbyistminers.store has 68 designs in reserve to be released over the next 12 months. Go check out hobbyistminers.store today and their winter collection, only for sale until March 31st. Then they're gone. But no fear, the spring collection is standing by. Go check it out, www.hobbyistminers.store.